scheduling order, correct?
Yes.
I believe so,
Okay.
yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty, let me get started. Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Civil Docket for April 20th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case, please? All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency. That's weird.
I had a feedback, Judge, sorry.
Oh, okay.
In
I
cause
gotta say,
number
I lost you.
2020, DCV 0749, Beacon Informational Technologies and Staffing versus Antonio A. Murguia et al. Announcement of council, please.
Robert Skipworth on behalf of the plaintiff, Beacon Information and Technology.
Your Honor, Eric Darnell on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Murguia, and present and ready to proceed today.
Okay, as I mentioned, we are scheduled just for entry, I believe, of the scheduling order. Did we not get that back? Had you all not been able to agree on that?
No, we haven't circulated it, honestly. If the court will send or have the clerk send to me a form, I'll be glad to fill it out and share it with Mr. Darnell.
Okay, let's do that. Myrna, if we hadn't already done that, we need to go ahead. I know we had one filed back on May 17th, so it's basically the same form. If you all can agree to a mediator, please do that. Let me look at our setting.
Your Honor, if I may, I'll be happy to forward it. I have a copy that I thought I received it from the court, but I may just have the old one, so that way I'll have it. But it's blank because I was waiting to discuss it, the dates.
Okay, if you all will do that, I'll go ahead and reset the entry hearing for 2 weeks. Get it back to us. I know we're probably pending maybe some other hearings, and if you want to go ahead and request them via email, we'll do that as well.
Thank you.
Hey.
Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
I did have a question about the 5th. I think there was some consternation on the part of the plaintiff's counsel that about I should say the validity, the veracity of it. But I mean, if that's not a good day, if the court would like to hear it, it's our motion for no evidence summary judgment. Mm-hmm. It's a revised motion. If there's some issues regarding the nomenclature used on it, that's fine. But whatever the time to address it is in a hearing. It's not, certainly not back and forth and people being nasty and ugly to your court coordinator.
So I'm not sure what all that is about, but I'll just simply say this. I think even from our last setting, Mr. Darnell, if what you're telling me is you're requesting a hearing, if you've done that via email, then you can anticipate we will set it at the same time. Correct, Myrna, but we have a second motion. So that order was us to the first motion. So yes. I think what I'm looking at is May 4th. So if we do May 4th at 11 a.m., that will be the time for entry of the scheduling order and for the hearing on the motion that was filed. Let me see if I can find it. I don't have any event here. 1 second.
I think that's fine, Judge. I've got a trial following day out of town, so but if it's early enough in the day, I think I'll be okay.
I'm trying to find the second one. Response to defendants. Mr. Darnell, if you'll just email both Myrna and me the last motion. I know there was a second motion. I'm not seeing it offhand. Okay, so
that's my fault. I sure will, Judge. I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
All right, so that will also be set on the 4th.
We're going to have it's going to be on the 4th and in the morning. I've already got a hearing with you in the morning on the 4th. It looks like.
I don't. See that.
I think this was previously scheduled at 9 o'clock on May 4th.
Okay, so I don't have that in my Odyssey entries. Was there an issue with the time?
No, I think I believe I believe he's right. There is. There's another one, but it was also. No, that's not.
Am I looking at the wrong? Okay, so I'm looking at Odyssey, and there is no May hearing set.
Okay.
And so,
Yep.
was that date workable for both of you?
Well, I have other hearings like today, but if you did it 9 o'clock, that works.
Okay.
I think
Mr.
that'd be
Darnell?
fine. Yeah, and that's. I have 2 hearings in your court at 9 that day, and one of them was this case. So,
Okay.
he's right. I mean, I don't know.
Well, then we'll do 9 o'clock. I apologize, but it's not on my Odyssey entries. So we will send you notice, formal notice. We might have discussed it, but didn't have notice. So we'll do it for May 4th at 9 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine, Judge. It's probably not you. We've had so many problems with the Odyssey system in the last year during the pandemic. It's not sure what happened, but yeah. But anyway, well,
Sure.
thank you.
We'll get you
Thanks for
notice.
your
Thank
time
you very
today.
much. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Skipworth. You all are
Thank you,
excused.
Judge.
Take care. I feel like we don't have that many people here.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Ms. McLaughlin. Hi, Ms. Labinati. Mr. Contreras, who are you here on? Morning.
Mr. Chapatro's case, it has Mr. Perez on it, but Abe is no longer with the firm, so I'm making sure that someone here is for the firm.
So I think right before we got on, I signed, you all sent over a non-suit. Is that right? Yeah.
I did. I wanted to make sure that it was signed off on and, that I didn't get yelled at for not making an appearance.
Oh, I don't yell too much. Yeah, you guys are good. In fact, I almost kicked Miss McLaughlin out of the waiting room, but then I was reminded that she had another case. So.
Yes. So it's
Okay.
with Mr. Contreras.
Okay,
It's-
so we're all set then, Judge? It's been
Yep.
signed off on, it's been dismissed?
It's done. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you
take
so
care.
much. Have
Maybe
a good day.
excuse, Judge?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I think Ms.
I think-
McLaughlin has another one.
Yeah, we may need to get her back. I was just saying that she had another case. Okay, let's take care of, Mr. Avalar, are you there? We can do the occupational license.
Judge, I am, and then whenever the court has time, I'd like to approach on our. Oh, is Miss King not here?
No, she's not.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to approach because I have a deadline to sign on some plea docs for you, for our famous.
I hate to bother her because I know she's super busy, but if
Yeah,
you
she
wanted
is.
to get her.
I'm just
No,
worried
no,
because I
Judge.
don't want the deadline to come and go.
You're
Judge,
talking
she's
about,
logging in.
oh, she's logging in. There you
Oh,
go.
perfect.
See, you willed it to happen, Mr. Avalar. Okay. So, Ms. Labinati, you're here on Montes?
Yes, Judge. Yes,
Okay,
Judge.
we're missing somebody, so if you'll hold on just a second. And that's your client, Mr. Avalar? Is that
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she came back. All right, so we'll just wait a second. King.
Haven't seen my civil people in a while, Your Honor.
There's
I
not too many
apologize.
today. There's not too many, but the ones that are here are quality. They make up for
Great.
the lack of numbers, they make up for in their present.
That's right.
There's Ms. King.
I apologize, Judge. I heard you at the last minute, so I logged back on.
No worries, no worries. Aye.
There's Miss King.
Okay, well, when she logs on, if you need to. And Mr. Marufo, can you double check on that PSR thing?
Yes, Judge, I apologize.
No worries,
I
no
got
worries.
stuck in the Odyssey, but I'm back on it.
I know we've had so many different technical issues lately. It's been crazy. Computers dying, all kinds of stuff. Oh my goodness. All right, if you need a minute, Danny, go ahead. If you need to speak with Ms. King, I'm just.
No, I think we can
Oh.
both approach, Judge.
What's going on?
It appears, while I went to the annex yesterday,
Uh-huh.
it appears that we have an agreement, Your Honor.
What are you talking about?
Philemon Sanchez.
Oh, is that? Yeah. My head is in Wednesday mode.
Well, Judge, no, I know I'm off docket approaching, Your Honor. I know the court is very busy this morning. I
Sure,
did
no,
want
no.
to approach because Ms. King gave me a deadline. I understand her deadline, and
Okay, well, we're gonna do this, Danny. We are still gonna have the hearing at 1:30 tomorrow, meaning that is a setting. If you all have an agreement, I think it's useful to have your client here in person and make sure that we cross all our Ts and dot all our Is, and just knowing how we got here.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's great. Thank you guys for working on it, but I'm gonna make sure we're all on the same page tomorrow.
I
Okay,
shall be there.
gracias.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. King, I thought, not that I don't love to see you every day, but I am becoming a fan of this PSR system. So I'm thinking in the future, I may not need you to come in on the occupational licenses, but go ahead and be here because, yeah, I don't think we just are limited to bond hearings. I think we can use them for other things. So this might be one of those situations, save you some time. All right, let's do our occupational license.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2022 DCV 0641, Jeffrey Trent Rodriguez. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas. Good morning.
Morning.
And Daniel Avalar for the petitioner, Jeffrey Rodriguez. Good morning, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rodriguez is appearing remotely. We're set for the occupational license. I did review the petition. Let me just double check. Oh gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit, Mr. Avalar, your client, he works, are you saying he works 7 days a week? Is that what it is?
Judge, he works a ton. He works for, he's a medical technician for William Beaumont Army Medical Center. I don't know if it's 7 days, but I know it's quite a bit, Your Honor, and they use him a lot, Judge.
Okay. Let me go through. Okay, we've got the drivers. There's the suspension. And we have the SR 22. Let me just double check. Usually on the orders, Danny, I don't know if I'm seeing here and maybe it's filed under something else. There's that list of conditions that apply. The petition looks fine to me. It's just the conditions. I did go ahead and check with PR Bond because of course, one of the conditions will be that he have an interlock and they did confirm that he has the interlock. So Mr. Rodriguez, that is a condition of your occupational license. Danny, I will tell you this. I know you all have sent this before as part of the packet, that list of conditions. If just know, I think that page requires your client's signature. Okay, so what we've been doing is, you all send it over, which I think is the right thing, right? Attorneys send it over. I go through the conditions and then we return it back to you for your client's signature, and then you return it back and then it will get filed. So
That's correct.
Ms. King, can you tell me a little bit? I think it's filed as a second. Do we know any other history?
Your Honor, he has a DWI, the first one in 1992, and that was dismissed. My system is loading as to why. That was out of CC 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have another one that was dismissed in 2001.
Yeah.
I believe.
Think the petition itself lists 1, 2, 3, and this would be the 4th. I don't know disposition, but there's 4 of incidents that are DWIs.
Yes, Judge, and if I can expound on that or perhaps even mitigate that, Judge, the 1992, the one that was from, 30 years ago, that was dismissed through PTD. That was the disposition.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to 2000, 20 years ago, that one was dismissed straight up.
Okay.
And so that leads us to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
that was a 30-day sentence.
Mhm.
And then
now-
now.
Okay.
That is correct.
All right, so they're all there. Well, the petition's in order, and I do find that there is a need there. So if you will send the conforming order over, Mr. Avalar, and make sure it has that list of conditions. Mr. Rodriguez, at no point, irrespective of how that criminal case goes, as long as you're on this occupational license, you are going to be required to have an interlock device on your vehicle, okay? Any vehicle you drive. If you do not, you are not, the license doesn't cover that, okay? So just be in compliance. I did kind of review the underlying complaint, and I don't know if they're gonna have an issue with that, the breath test.
Before I go, and to clarify, Your Honor, we did submit an order along with the conditions. Did you want me to fix that in some way?
No, I don't need you to fix it. I don't see it here. I'm looking at your petition on Odyssey.
Okay.
So if you'll email it to Myrna, and I can go through and add the conditions. I know there's a couple of other ones. They're just kind of wordy, basically kind of all say the same thing, but cover all our bases. So as soon as I get that, I'll check off the conditions. We'll resend it back to you for your client signature, and then you return it to us.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks so much. Okay.
Thank you,
Good to
Mr.
see y'all.
Rodriguez. Take care.
Bye, bye, Ms. King. Thank you.
Bye. Judge,
Thank
may
you,
I-
Ms. King.
you.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Bye.
you all working on Mr. Sanchez's case.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, who's next?
Page 2, Judge, the second one,
Okay,
in cause number 2021, DCV 2676. Michelle Fonseca versus Beatriz Solis and Lorenzo Roberto Solis. Announcement of council, please.
Rod Ramos for the plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. JLJ for defendants Beatriz Solis and Lorenzo Roberto Solis.
wonderful. Scheduling conference. We're looking at a year out for jury trials. Well, I could probably put you at the beginning of 2023, maybe early February. How's that date?
That's my birthday month, Your Honor, but I won't be partying the whole month, so.
Well, we can try and make it a little festive for you, Mr. J. I mean, if that helps. But anyways,
Yes.
how's a February trial date?
Let me double check. And just for your information, Judge, I've been negotiating with the adjuster on this, and we're just a few thousand apart. I actually left a voicemail for the adjuster this morning to see if she had a new response. She had to call me back before this hearing.
Are you telling me you want 30 days to see if we don't need to set it for trial, or just want to set it for trial? What are you telling me?
Well, I didn't know that that would be an option. Okay.
I think we got to set it, Judge. Mr. Ramos is being real difficult with my sweet Geico adjuster.
Yeah,
Well-
let's set it. February 3rd will be the trial date. We'll send you the scheduling order,
Yeah.
pick a
That's fine.
mediator, and
February.
we'll have interim settings. So if everything gets taken care of, I'm sure we'll hear from you.
Yeah, you'll hear from us.
Absolutely. Do you all know who you want to use as a mediator?
I'll go wherever Mr. Ramos wants to go, Your Honor. That's okay.
Mr. J and I can work very easily to reach an agreement on that. That's
Okay.
fine.
We'll have the entry of the scheduling order in 2 weeks. Please send it back so you all don't have to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who's next?
Staying with Mr. Ramos, bottom of page 2. In cause number 2021, DCV 2931, Cynthia M. Ramirez versus Hector Arellanos and Maria Tennessee. Announcement of council, please.
Rod Ramos for plaintiff, Ms. Ramirez.
And Christina McLaughlin for both defendants.
Okay, again, scheduling status conference. How does that February trial date sound on this case? You all want to stick with that?
I think that works, Your Honor, because we still need the plaintiff's deposition, and then we can go to mediation.
Okay,
Right.
beautiful. All right, same thing, pick a mediator. We'll use February 3rd as our trial date. We'll send you the entry and Send it back to us within 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
Ms. McGowan, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. What happened to, oh, okay, go ahead. Who's next? I think Mr. Sanchez is here on Ms. Labinotti's case.
Yes, top of page 2.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2021 DCV 2913, Jaime A. Montes versus Mimbela Constructors Inc. Announcement of council, please.
Uh-oh, did we lose Daniela?
Mr. Sanchez, you're muted.
My apologies. Gilbert Sanchez for defendant Mimbela Contractors, Inc.
Ms. Labinotti, are you there? She may have stepped away.
Judge, I think if you recall, this is the one that was initially handled by Steve James, and there was a period of time where we could not find an attorney who was going to enter an appearance. Last week, Ms. Labinotti and Jonathan Baeza entered an appearance, and I've served our written discovery that it's been served on Mr. James. I reserved it on Ms. Labinotti. And from our perspective, we are ready to proceed. And we're going to get a trial date, and I guess we'll meet Ms. Labinotti. I can text her.
Yeah, we can see. Let's see if we can. She was here for the longest time. Offhand, February is not quite a year. Do you all? Here she is.
Okay.
Labinotti, are you there?
Sorry, Judge, I am in mediation and I was doing two things at the same time. I
I'm
apologize.
so
Judge.
sorry. That's okay. We're just trying to pick a trial date. I think Mr. Sanchez was giving the court a little bit of an update. Is a February trial date good enough, or do you need another timetable?
February. Let's see,
Mhm.
Judge. And my apologies, Judge.
Don't worry.
They were talking on the other side, so I put this other computer on mute. All right, let me see.
We can, technically, not technically, generally I try and do a year. So that would put us into April. If you think there's, some work that has to be done.
And Judge, we just filed an entry of appearance. So I'm not sure really in terms of the extent of work that needs to be done, but we can go ahead and put it in February.
Sure.
I have one trial only at the time, and I mean, maybe we'll settle or we'll work it out, or maybe I'll settle the other case. So if that's okay with Mr. Sanchez, then that's okay with me.
Let's do February 10th. Okay.
Hey, Judge.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you so much. We'll get you the scheduling order, agree on a mediator, get it back to us. We're good to go. And then y'all are.
Gilbert, are you okay with Judge Villa for a mediator?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
so there
Okay,
it
so
is,
let's just
Villa.
do Judge Villa so we can get it done.
Ándale pues.
Thank
Okay.
you all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Judge.
Take care.
Thanks,
Go
Danielle.
back to work.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, who's next?
Judge, I got Mr. Ryan Little, but Mr. Dick is not in yet.
Okay.
Judge, I'm on
Oh,
for
that's
Mr.
right.
Dickey.
Ms. Canales, that's right. Go ahead.
In cause number 2021 DCV 2533, Richard A. Spoon versus Alan J. Arredondo. Announcement of council, please.
Your Honor, Ryan Little on behalf of Mr. Spoon. We actually have a pending substitution for Michael Zimprich. I don't know if the order's been signed yet, Judge, but I
think
have
I
been
signed it
retained.
yesterday. Yeah, I think I signed it yesterday, so it might be floating out there somewhere.
Wonderful. Thank you, Your Honor. And good morning.
Good morning. So we're here for an entry of judgment dismissal hearing. How about an update? How about a status on this?
Your Honor, I will defer to Ms. Canales. I just entered the case, and the set of documents that I have from Mr. Zimprich, they show some compromises and some documents on some settlement stuff, but I also saw some answers that were recently filed on some intervention petitions and some other things. So I don't believe that the case is settled. So I kind of think we're going to need to have a trial setting, but if Ms. Canales has a better status update, I would actually appreciate it as well.
All right, Ms. Canales, it's on you.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, I spoke with Mr. Dickey, and he is under the same impression that I think we need a trial setting to resolve some issues that I think have not been settled. So there's no judgment. There's really no entry of judgment.
Okay, so let me ask, is this something that we need to go into 2023, or can I set you, late fall this year?
Mr. Dickey, he's set pretty much for the rest of the year with hearings. I mean, trials set 2-3 at a time. So he asked me if anytime after January 15th, he would appreciate that.
How does February 10th? How does that look for you all? Can we save it now before you all get super busy?
That's fine for Mr. Dickey, Judge.
I'm checking, Your Honor. February 10th, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a great setting for me as well, Your Honor.
Wonderful. That's what we'll do.
And Judge, I at this point, I'm not aware. I don't believe Mr. Zimprich requested a jury trial on behalf of my client. Was there a jury trial requested on behalf of any of the defendants or counter plaintiffs?
I'm not seeing anything in terms of a filing. And honestly, I just don't remember anything before this hearing. So no, I don't see it. Ms. Canales, do you know?
Honestly, Judge, I don't know that specific detail, but I don't want to comment on that.
Maybe we
Your
can.
Honor, it is. It's a boundary line dispute. It's a little bit technical. There's a trespass to try title action. And so in my experience, typically we let the judge handles most of that stuff. And so it wouldn't surprise me if a jury hasn't been requested. But from the documents that I have, I just could not tell.
Okay, I don't see it either. So are you telling me just bench trial it?
At this point, Your Honor, I would say we're a bench trial. I'll consult with my client and just confirm that. But from my end, a bench trial would be great.
Okay. Then we'll leave the date as is. We actually still will send you the scheduling order just to get that process going in the event. And then we can also obviously it'll be a lot more, the court is a lot more flexible to event. So if we need to keep dates, we can do that. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
Y'all are excused.
Maybe be excused.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica. Were you going to say something?
You were just cutting out at the end a little bit, so.
Oh, okay.
For next time.
All right. I'll try and stop moving or something. Okay. I feel like I see half parties here. Maybe Mr. Who's next?
We have bottom of page 2, Judge, CityLink. Cause number 2021 DCV 4284. CityLink Trucking Inc. versus Dump Bodies Inc. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is David Mirazo for the plaintiff, CityLink Trucking Inc.
Tony Aguilar on behalf of Dump Bodies Inc.
Okay, and we're set for a motion for entry upon land and inspection. Apologies. Okay, my system is running really slow. Give me 1 second. Okay, there it is. All right, Mr. Marazzo.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. We represent CityLink Trucking, Your Honor. This is a company that purchased from the defendant, Dump Bodies Inc., 7 dumped trailers, which are used for construction and other purposes. These are the ones that sort of lift and you're able to dump material onto construction sites and things of that nature. My client purchased 7 of them. And my client is alleging that they were defective, that they were not built to specifications, and that they were non-conforming goods pursuant to the UCC. Most recently, Your Honor, we have also learned that they were designed effectively and that they roll over and that they have caused accidents in Colorado, where my client is from. And so we have had an expert mechanical engineer come down and inspect the ones that we have possession of. 2 of them, I believe, remain in the possession of the defendant because they were rejected and not picked up due to the defects with the other ones. So what we would like to do, Your Honor, is take our mechanical engineer, our expert, or experts plural, because we have more than one consulting on this, and inspect these trailers that are in the possession of the defendant. If you look at the motion, Your Honor, we have requested this multiple times from counsel. And, you know, I don't know what the issue is, and that's okay. I'm not, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter to us. We just want the opportunity to do so that we can complete our expert reports and disclose them and get all that together, Your Honor. I read the response that was filed in opposition of this motion, and it cites to 2 things that I just want to address very briefly. First, the response says that there's a motion to dismiss. We checked the docket. We've never seen that. I'm not aware of one being filed, nor have I received one, nor would one be proper at this point. It did bring to my attention that CityLink Trucking is not a Texas corporation. It is a Colorado corporation. And so I went and figured that out today. I filed an amended petition earlier this morning, correcting that, changing from Texas to Colorado, just to make sure it's a Colorado corporation. But it is the same plaintiff that purchased the trailers from the defendant. So that's not an issue. That's not a reason to deny the motion. The other issue raised in the response, Your Honor, is a procedural one, I suppose, where the defendant says that we haven't complied with Rule 196 of the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. And I would say that we have. That rule, in particular, 196.7, talks about request or motion. You can do one or the other, a request or a motion for entry upon property. And what it says is that a party may gain entry on designated land or other property to inspect, measure, survey, photograph, test, or sample the property or any designated object operation thereon by no later than 30 days before the end of any applicable discovery period, which we're clearly within in this case. 1, a request on all parties if the land or property belongs to a party, or it's an or in the rule gives me the option, or a motion and notice of hearing on all parties. So given that I had requested this a number of times, I opted to go with the motion because the requests were without a response. So we are asking the court, I mean, this is very simple. It's just our experts need to look at these trailers and form an opinion as to whether they're defective in design and function and so forth. We're requesting from the court an order ordering the inspection. Specifically, our experts are available during the week, during the days of May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Any one of those days, they need a day to be out there and measure. My client and I would like to be present. My client's representative is Mr. Ernesto Garcia. He'll come with me. And so we're just asking the court for an order compelling the inspection. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Aguilar.
If the court please, one of the problems that they had in this case was they filed a petition alleging that the plaintiff was a Texas corporation. I checked with the Secretary of State and the State Comptroller's Office. There was no Texas corporation, which meant that there was no standing and the court had no jurisdiction over a non-existent corporation. That was pointed out to the plaintiff. Nothing was done about it until 8:47 this morning, at which time they filed an amended petition. So up to that juncture, I had a basis of saying we don't have to comply with anything. They then sent letters saying that they wanted to inspect the trailers. They never sent a request for inspection underneath 190 Texas Rule Civil Procedure 196. 196B states what the contents of the request had to have. They were supposed to point out the time and the date, and they were supposed to point out other factors. I've never been served with a request for entry upon land and request for inspection. Never. And the rules mean something. If they want to check everything, they have to comply with Texas Rule Civil Procedure 196. Once they comply, I have 30 days to respond. I'll respond. I have no problem with discovery because candidly, their case is frivolous and has no merit. But I do stand on the principle that we have to follow the rules of procedure and we don't turn around and just do whatever we want. The letters, if you read them, do not meet the requirements of 196B. They also, up until this morning, were alleging the existence of a non-existent corporation made in Texas. So at this juncture, if they will turn around and send me a proper request for entry upon land and request for inspection pursuant to 196, Texas Rule Civil Procedure 196, I'll respond. I have no problem with it, but they have to comply with the rules, and up to this date, they haven't done it.
Mr. Morasso, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor, other than the rule is very clear. I can do it by request or by motion, and I'm doing it by motion because I've asked him formally a number of times. And so I have nothing further to add, Your Honor.
Okay. All righty. And so I agree with Mr. Morasso and plaintiff's request. There will be an order to compel the inspection on the dates provided by Mr. Morasso. I believe that was May 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Quite frankly, if you all, I don't know if there will be any issues of scheduling, as long as there's some type of agreement. I will list the dates listed for both plaintiff's representative and Mr. Morasso to inspect those trucks, I guess.
If the court, Mr. Morasso is going to be present, he's making himself a witness. And as such, if he does appear, I'm going to file a motion to disqualify his law firm and him because he now has a material witness. So I would ask the court that he not be allowed to be present.
Your Honor, we are routinely present at inspections and discussions with experts and so forth. I don't think that has any basis, but he can file any motions he wishes later. I mean, we just want to do a normal inspection like we do in all cases where there's an issue of a defective product. That's all we're trying to do is get our engineer to look at it.
Mr. Morasso, if you will provide the court with the proposed order on the motion. I will say this because it sounds like there might be an issue and there's a short timetable. Mr. Aguilar, if you have something you need to file that will require a hearing, something in line with what you've just alluded to, if you would please forward that as soon as possible. If we need to have a hearing so that we do that before those dates. Okay.
Yes. I'm just pointing it out so that whenever we get down the road, we don't have to face anything. And I wanted to bring it to Your Honor's attention and to Mr. Morales' attention that there's a potential problem if he becomes a material witness.
Sure. Understood. Would you all, I know we're going to have a tight schedule between now and those proposed dates. I'm going to go ahead and set this just for a status on April 27th at 10 a.m. You can anticipate, Mr. Aguilar, if you have your, whatever you're going to file, if you have it filed, we can hear it on that date, okay? I just want to make sure we look forward time-wise.
If the court please, of course, I can't do anything until after the inspection. If Mr. Morazzo's there, it brings it up. If he doesn't appear, it doesn't bring it up. So I can't file it ahead of time.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I just,
Yeah.
if you're gonna base it just based on the order, then, you know, you can file it ahead of time. So then I won't set that April 27 hearing. If you file something, please forward it to us via email if you need a hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right, and Mr. Marazzo, if you'll send that today, please.
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Who's next?
Page 3, Judge.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2021, PCV 2834, Rosa Griselda Rodriguez versus Farmers Texas County Mutual Insurance Company. Announcement of council, please.
Chris Pettit for the plaintiff, Rosa Griselda Rodriguez.
And Lynn Brooks for defendant Farmers.
Good morning. So we're here for a scheduling status conference. How are we doing?
Lynn, would you like to go first?
Well, I don't want to complain. I did file a motion to dismiss last week, Judge, because I have struggled for 6 months to get a hold of anyone in plaintiff's office. And thankfully, about an hour ago, I got a phone call from an attorney. And so maybe things are on track now. Maybe they're not. Who knows? I'm not going to hold my breath after 6 months. But I would appreciate a trial date. The sooner the better.
My name is Marufo, I'm the bailiff for the 210 District Court.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we want a trial setting, and it was filed, I think I just glanced, it was filed in April of 2021, right?
Looks like it, yeah.
I believe.
Okay, so even with a, we'll go to December 1st. December 1st this year. Okay, let's get through the scheduling order. We'll get you the scheduling orders for y'all to return it before the 2-week deadline, and then we'll have our dates. If there's anything outstanding that's been filed that you think needs a hearing, please inform us via email with your filed pleading, and we'll get you a hearing date outside of those scheduled dates, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Pettit.
you,
Do you have anything else? All right, we're good to go. Thank you.
Sure, take care. Thank you.
Who's next?
Staying on page 3, the middle of page 3, Judge. In cause number 2021, DCV 3163, Maria Olga Chavira versus Sergio Fierro. Announcement of council, please.
Mr. Hirsch, I can't hear you if you were talking.
Good morning.
Morning, okay. Was that Mr. Lopez or was that Mr. Hirsch? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it's me, Judge.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Mr. Hirsch.
I think we're here on a scheduling conference.
I know, but I'm trying to see if Mr. Hirsch.
So that, is it
There
working
we
now?
go. Yes, we got it now. We got you. Mr. Hirsch, that's been going on like the past 2 weeks for us. We've had a lot of issues like that.
I don't know. Sometimes I guess it's the wire, and I think sometimes I might kick it. And
Take it.
I'll
All
get
right. So do y'all need a trial date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want to do February 10th next year?
That's good for me.
February 10th. That works for the plaintiff as well, Judge.
Beautiful. Do you all know what mediator you want to use?
Probably Villa.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Beautiful. So we have an agreement. All right, we'll get you the scheduling order. Please return it before the 2-week deadline so we don't have to come back, and then you'll have your dates, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Your Honor, if I may, Jaime Alvarado at 10:30. I don't know if the court, I texted or I chatted with the bailiff on a status for 10:30. I'm local counsel on Madrid v. Allstate.
Do we have a defense? I don't see, it says Sean White, so I don't know if some might be
I
Sean.
contacted their office, Judge, and I couldn't get through twice.
Okay. Mr. Alvarado, who have you been dealing with Have you been dealing with anyone?
Your Honor, I was retained 2 weeks ago as a local counsel. I did receive the file. This is a first-party property damage homeowners claim. That's what I have, and it looks like discovery has been exchanged by both sides on this. Looks like depots are ready to be sat in the trial setting, so I was hoping that the court would entertain a trial setting and I could get back with lead counsel and set up an agreed mediator.
Well, I'm kind of wondering where, I'm trying to think, I can't think who comes in for him. For Mr. White, it's not usually Mr. White.
I can step back, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure.
Sure.
Thank you.
If you'll hang tight just for a second. Who else?
I also have Mr. Ben Gutierrez here. He's on 2.
What time are his?
He was at 1 for 10:15 on page 2.
Okay.
And 11 o'clock on page 3.
Okay, we can do the 10:15.
In cause number 2021 DCV 2563, Portfolio Recovery Associates LLC versus Luis Tanquini. Announcement of council, please.
Benjamin Joseph Gutierrez on behalf of Portfolio Recovery, ready to proceed on the status, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have a status sent. We don't have, let's see, served. Oh, you all gonna file a default?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, as soon as you file it, I'll set a status conference for, well, we'll do 30 days out. If you get your default filed, you can anticipate, you know how it goes, Mr. Gutierrez, I need proof of the notice being sent to Mr. Takini, I guess. So if you can accomplish that, if you get your default file quickly and get the certified card returned, then you can have the hearing in 30 days, okay? So we'll do a 30-day status, may convert it to the default hearing.
Understood, Your Honor.
Right.
Your Honor, if I may, the 11, I don't suspect that the defendant will show up because he hasn't been served, so.
So we're gonna reset that then.
Yes, we were just gonna ask for additional time to perfect service on the 11 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll reset 3657 for 45 days.
Understood. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, then you're excused. Thank you. Miss Salinas, 3252. Let's go to that one.
Sorry, Judge. Good morning, Judge. Christina Salinas on behalf of the plaintiff, Zachary Silva.
Sure, let me just go back. Calling cause number 2021 DCV 3252. Thank you, Ms. Salinas. It looks like we're set for scheduling status conference, but maybe we don't have service yet. Let me get
We don't have, correct, Your Honor. We don't have service yet. We did run a skip trace and we were able to locate a new address. So we would ask for a 90-day reset just to get defendant served.
Okay. When was this filed? I'll give you 60 days, okay?
Okay,
60
got
days,
it.
60-day reset.
Thank you, Judge.
You. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, we can go ahead and get off of YouTube, Mr. Alvaro. Let me